Hi, I'm Roger Glover of Deep Purple, and this is Buzz.
I'm Kim Katz with Buzz News in Chicago, and I'm here with Roger Glover, the legendary bassist for Deep Purple. And we're so glad you're playing. I was trapped in the foundation room, luxurious foundation room at the House of Blues in front of this trunk with lots of noise and stuff and software nearby. But they'll fix up the foundation room. She said, wait by the ladies' room. And I, was like, okay, because I don't know how to get back to that other room. And I was just sitting there waiting. So
you
that's
should have told me I'd come down to you.
Would have been better, quieter. Can we shoot this in there?
No editing by this. Let's just do no edit.
That's right.
Go for it.
That's right, exactly.
Ow, fuck. See, edit that out.
There goes that take. I actually met a woman in the ladies' room who said to me that she was here from Romania and that it was her lifelong dream to see you guys play together.
Good heavens.
So that's from her to you, went right to you.
It's very difficult when you get that. It's very humbling, really. Very humbling, because we're just musicians. We're not, we're not anything but just people who play music.
Just musicians?
Yeah.
No, don't say just.
It's just we've been doing it a long time, that's all.
No, it's not just. It's a gift, and it's a blessing you give to people, and obviously they'll travel a long way to receive that gift.
I know it's a gift, because you know what? I never had a proper job in my life.
Really?
No, I had some summer jobs when I was in my teens.
You're lucky.
I left art college and I became a professional musician, and I've been lucky enough, and I say lucky.
Very lucky.
Because you need luck.
Yeah.
In this business.
But you need a huge amount of talent.
Not even a business, really.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mafia. Like the mob.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
That they get all the money,
Done a few of those gigs in my time.
I'm sure.
Why are we working in this place? Well, it's an offer you can't refuse.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Not unless you want to have something rearranged.
An extra knee.
Yeah, right. I don't need that finger anyway. But so you're really lucky then. You were talented enough at an early age to get gigs and get hooked up with the right people and have that chemistry.
Well, at an early age, I'll tell you what. I was talking to a friend of mine's son, who's, how do you do it? How do you get famous? And the thing is, fame isn't the thing you're looking for. It's really the music, it's the passion for the music. And when I was a kid growing up in the 50s, of course, rock and roll happened. I remember what life was like before rock and roll.
Right.
It was really boring.
It must have been horrible.
Oh. But when Skiffle happened, and then Bill Haley and Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry, Little Richard, it was it's such an exciting time, and revolutionized not just my life, but it revolutionized all our lives. Really.
That's right. And Deep Purple was one of the pioneers.
But it took
doing that.
I was professional 8 years before. Well, not professional. I was playing for 8 years.
Okay.
Before I got into Deep Purple and the career took off. And these days kids want to do it in 2 months or next week.
Right.
It's the reality of it is to be a professional musician, you've really got to learn your trade. You've got to do an apprenticeship, if you like, and that means playing the clubs night after night, year after year, until you really know your instrument, you know what you want to do, know how to express yourself. And that takes time. It doesn't happen. And these days of television, MTV and VH1 and all that, and it's all instant. They see the images and they want to be that immediately, and they forget that there's a stepping stone in between, which is the music. Right.
And what do you think about the state of the radio right now? Isn't it kind of impossible for new artists to get in there? It's all seems corrupt, and they're paying the same 20 songs over and over again. Isn't that really disappointing?
In many ways, we're a new artist. We do new albums, and it is frustrating. There's a song on Rapture of the Deep called MTV, which isn't about MTV, but it's about an incident that happened when Bananas came out. When was that? 5 years ago or something like that?
Okay.
I went into a radio station somewhere and did half an hour talking about Don Aries, the new guy in the band, and we were in the studio, and this was this song, and this is this song. I did about half an hour.
Right.
And it was a really in-depth interview, and I appreciated that time on the radio for an in-depth interview.
Sure.
And then the DJ said, right, enough of the talking, let's play something. Guess what he played? Smoke on the Water.
Oh, doesn't that just piss you off?
That's where MTV was germinated.
Right.
And yes, it is a little frustrating because you get put in a little box, a little pigeonhole box, which is classic rock.
Right.
And if if you happen to be a band from our era,
right,
you're automatically classic rock, and you don't stand a chance with new music.
yeah.
My daughter's got an album out now.
Neat.
She doesn't have that classic rock thing, but
Right.
it's incredibly difficult to get across.
Right.
You know, there's so many new artists, especially with the internet. There's thousands of songs coming out every day, and how can you possibly go through and listen to them all and evaluate something and find an artist that you like and follow them and get passionate? You know,
Right, it's overwhelming almost.
It's
choices.
changed a lot, the music business. You know,
Yeah.
live is really where it hasn't changed.
Right.
Except there's not quite as many places as you'd like to actually do gigs, especially if you're starting. But live music is really where we've always been a live band, and we're still concentrating on that. So at least we have that. So
Now you're on a 2-year tour right now, right?
well, if you call an album a starting point for a tour, yes, it's about a 2-year tour. But we haven't stopped.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't stopped that for the last 15 years or so.
How is touring different now than it was, say, 15 years ago? You know, for you physically, for you mentally,
Well,
is it as much fun? Is it more?
people talk about the good
hanging out?
old days of parties and stuff like that, and yeah, there was a lot of partying in the 70s, sure. The stereotypical rocker, I mean, it becomes a stereotype simply because people hear about it.
Right.
But, I mean, it's always exaggerated. But to be honest, working now is a lot easier. We stay in better hotels. We have, you know, except for commercial flights. If you're flying commercial flights, you're just like anyone else. You're cattle. One,
That's
two,
right.
three, get on board. No standing, no turning. No.
Do you worry about all your liquids getting on and all that?
Oh,
Speaking of
pain in the
liquids.
neck. You know, I don't mind security. It's just a drag. But in general, life is easier now
Right.
because we make it easy. You know, we
Right.
realize that we're doing this for a reason, and one of them is not to suffer that
Right.
much. But the really good old days weren't good at all. They were an old van with holes in the floor in
Ew,
winter,
right.
and you had blankets around you, and you're sitting on the floor with mic stands around you.
Really? So you
that
guys
was
had a phase where you were that broke band in the little
Oh,
shitty
yeah,
van with
yeah.
no
Did
heat and all
years
that?
of it.
Really? How many
Yeah.
years?
Well, 8 years.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. See? That's honing your craft.
That is.
That's getting rid of the
And you can
dream.
always tell, I'm a producer as well, and you can always tell when you're producing a band which bands have had live experience and which bands have just been rehearsing.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right
there's something
away.
about a live performer when he plays with a conviction that can only come with experience.
Right,
you know.
right.
So, experience is the greatest teacher.
Oh, that's awesome. And just one last thing, I was going to ask, Ian is very spiritual, and he's very open about it, and I love that. I think that's a great basis for anything magical, musically. Are you all sharing, in some way, his spiritual thing? Do you guys share that? Do you meditate together, or do any yoga, or... I don't know how you guys express it, but...
Well, Ian writes lyrics, and I write lyrics. And the lyrics are really where you can get to that point of actually expressing something other than a girl-boy relationship, or my baby done left me, or
right.
my car's
Poetry.
faster than yours.
Poetry. You can write your
You
own
get
poetry.
beyond that. You write about your life. And in the early days, your life was fast cars and fast women.
Right.
And life now, as you get older...
Slow cars and slow women?
No. But life is good thought, though.
Okay. Slow down,
We'll do a ballad called that.
Okay.
But it's more like you think more about what you're writing, and I guess you have the experience gives you more of an overview. And we've never been a preachy kind of band. We never say this is what you should do, this is what you should believe in, and
Right.
we just purely observers.
Right,
And
right.
you can actually teach by observing rather than by telling people. And the state of the world right now, it doesn't take much of an imagination to look around and say, well, it's a pretty weird place.
You can teach by observing. That's a wonderful Zen statement.
Well,
I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
You can teach by observing. That's
or you
very
can,
good.
Or you can teach by example.
That's right.
That's how
Beautiful.
the best way you can teach your kids is by being being yourself, what you want them to be.
Right.
That's the best way to learn.
That's beautiful. So nice
See,
to
we're
meet
all
you.
kind of spiritual in a way.
We are all connected
And
that
talking
way.
of spiritual, this isn't water.
And I drink water. And now he's going to do his postcard from the road to all his loyal fans from the House of Blues in Chicago. Roger Glover.
Postcard from the road. I'm Roger Glover. I'm in Deep Purple. There's real blood in these fingers, and that blood sometimes gets on the fretboard. And that's what it's all about, is the blood and the passion and the tears that goes into the music. And when you come to a Purple show, people say, what are we going to expect tonight? Well, if you're going to expect something, you're in the wrong game, because we always a little bit unexpected. Yes, you're going to hear some of the big hits, and you're going to hear those songs are always new. They're always fresh every night, because we interpret them as musicians, not as cardboard cutout images. So it's real. It's real.
Thank
Good.
you.
Thanks.
So nice to meet you. Wonderful to talk to you. Hope we get to do it longer than